The First Descendant is a free-to-play sci-fi looter shooter from Nexon, and this title will be available on PC, PlayStation and Xbox, and it does not have a release date as of yet. I recently had the opportunity to participate in the beta, and in this video I'll be giving my first impressions on this game. By the way, this is Lion, and if you like content like this, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. Now without further ado, let's get to it. For this video, I like to divide my impressions into two parts. First, I'll talk about the things that I like and enjoy about this game, and secondly, I'll talk about the things that I didn't like or enjoy about it. Let's start with the characters. When you first start the beta, you're given 3 characters to choose. These characters are Lepic, Viesa, and Ajax. Out of the 3 characters, Lepic was the easiest to get used to, and this was the one I selected to start the game. The gameplay style with Lepic is very simple. Shoot things up with your rifle, and with your special skill you're able to blow things up with your grenade. It has a very interesting passive skill called 9 lives. This skill activates when Lepic takes lethal damage, and it allows him to become immune to all damage coming his way for 5 seconds. After the 5 seconds are up, he recovers 50% of his maximum health. Now this skill does have a 600-second cooldown time, so you can't rely on it all the time. The next character I chose to play with was Viesa. Viesa was the one that I spent most of the time playing with and ended up being my favorite. Viesa has the ability to slow down and freeze enemies in place, making her the best character to choose for crowd control. This ability became very useful because you often find yourself overwhelmed by enemies on screen. The main ability I found myself using with this character was Frost Fog. This ability provides you with a 30% speed boost while at the same time freezing and slowing down enemies around you. This worked great for those situations when enemies overwhelm you. The final character that I got to play with was Ajax. Ajax is the tank of the group and has the highest defense. One of his abilities allows you to put up a shield that protects you from incoming damage. Sadly, Ajax was my least favorite character to play with. I found Ajax to be very slow and his abilities not that effective. When Ajax deploys the shield, enemies can easily get around it, rendering the shield useless. In the beta, there were an additional 7 characters you could unlock by progressing through different missions in the game. These characters were an alternate version of Lepic called Ultimate Lepic, Jaber, Bunny, Freyna, Glay, Sharon, and Blair. Since I was only able to access the game for a short period of time, this is something that I'm really looking forward to try out once the game actually releases. I have to add that I was very impressed by the character designs, since every single character was very cool and interesting. Another part of this game that I really enjoyed was the weapons, talking about the weapons variety and how the weapons felt. Each character was able to carry 3 different weapons from a combination of guns, rifles, assault rifles, and sniper rifles, among others. There was a lot of weapons to choose from, and each weapon felt different from the next. And you will need those weapons since you are humanity's last hope. At least that's what the story says. The story of the game goes like this. About a century ago, humans were defeated by an alien race known as the Volgas. After this defeat, another alien group known as the Colossi destroyed everything in the world. Humans remained defiant and eventually were gifted the power of the Forgotten Ancestor. With this newfound power, humans were able to fight back. However, a new threat emerged. This threat is the new leader of the Volgas named Corel. Corel's looking to bring both worlds to the brink of collapse. We can't deny that there's a lot of resemblance between the story of this game and the story of Destiny. Nevertheless, I like this story and I'm looking forward to learn more about it. So far, you heard everything I liked about the game. Now, let's talk about the things that I didn't like so much. The first issue I had with the game was with the frame rate. The game did not seem stable and frames were dropping all the time. This made it a little uncomfortable when you're trying to aim and shoot, combined with some of the other issues that I'm going to talk about in a little bit here. This was especially noticeable when you have multiple enemies on screen or when you were moving fast in the game. And in a game where you're constantly surrounded by enemies, this poses a big problem. Moving on, let's talk about the melee combat, or the lack of it. Melee combat is the worst combat aspect of this game. It is non-existent, it does not feel satisfying, it is a missed opportunity for this game. Whenever you use melee on an enemy, the animation looks awkward and it doesn't feel satisfying. And my final issue with this game, The thing that I probably like the least out of all those is that this world, while it's big, it feels empty and boring at times. You have large areas to traverse, and there's nothing to look at that's interesting when there's anything happening at all in this world. Luckily, since the game has no release date announced, the developers have plenty of time to work on this game and improve on some of these complaints that I listed today. Overall, the game has a lot of potential, and it does have at times a feel like Destiny and Warframe. Since this is a free-to-play title, I would recommend to try this game out once it's available to play on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox. Now that you heard my first impressions on this game, the good and the bad, let me know in the comments, is this a game that you're interested in, or if what you've seen so far has deterred you from wanting to try out this game? If you made it this far, first I want to thank you for taking the time to check out my video. If you enjoyed my content, do me a huge favor and smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. By the way, this was Lion. Don't forget to think outside the box. See you on the next one.